Blog Talk Radio.
The views and opinions of this show do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of Wiki Curiosity Media, its affiliates, or its parent company, Angel's Hand. Wiki Curiosity Media, changing the view of the world around you.
Coming to you live from the Wiki Curiosity Studios in Knoxville, Tennessee, it's Behind the Screen Radio Show.
Episode of Behind the Screen. I am your host, Dan. Joining me in the studio tonight is the lovely Miss Angel.
Hello.
Lovely Miss Angel.
Hello.
And we have Ann joining us.
Hello. Goodbye.
And you can join us as well. All you got to do is call in 718-664-9735. Again, 718-664-9735. Or you can go to the live stream on our Facebook page, Behind the Screen Radio Show, and you can message us there on the live stream. Also, head on over to Wiki Curiosity Media's Facebook page. Give them a like, share, and follow to keep up to date on everything going on in Wiki Curiosity Media. And while you're on the live stream on Facebook, give our page a like. Behind the Screen Radio Show, like, share, and follow. That way you're kept up to date on everything we've got going on in there. You're kept up to date on all of our live streams and everything else. We have a YouTube channel, Wiki Curiosity. Head on over to there. We are getting ready to start updating that and hopefully start being able to put our streams onto YouTube, because that would be awesome. We have a website, www.wikicuriosity.wixsite.com/WC Media. Look at that. I didn't even have to look at the script tonight.
Hey.
That's awesome.
Did you look at it every single day this week, though?
No, I did not. All I did was just look at it once on Wednesday because I just was all discombobulated on Wednesday. But I got it tonight. On the website, you can look at pictures that need to be updated. You can check out our blogs that have not been updated in a while, but we are going to start updating those here very shortly. You can also access all of our old shows on all the shows that have been on every Wicked Curiosity network we've had. Wicked Curiosity Radio Network, Wicked Curiosity Media, going all the way back to the very, very beginning, the very first Behind the Screen that started this journey for us. You can go and listen to all of those shows and every other show that's been on the network. You can also find all of the shows on iTunes. All you got to do is just type in the name of the show that you want and then look for, no, actually, you have to type in Wiki Curiosity Media. And that will bring up all of our shows on iTunes, and they're all in alphabetical order, and the most recent will be down at the very bottom of the list. So, go and check those out. You can download them and listen to them whenever you want. What else? What else?
Turn on post notifications. That's what I just did.
Yeah. Turn on your push notifications.
Push notifications? I don't know what it's called, actually. I forgot.
Yeah, so push notifications just alert you when something new happens with us.
Yeah. So turn on the push notifications so you can
keep up.
Yeah.
And see every time we go live.
Yes.
You'll never miss it.
Exactly. And that's true for all of our shows, because we will hopefully start streaming all of our shows on their respective pages now that we know how to do this.
So much fun. I'm so excited. this is such a cool way to be able to interact with you guys. And not only that, it's a little easier for people who maybe don't have, aren't tech savvy or just don't want to take the time to have to log it or, go in and click links and try to listen live on the site that we run from. So this is kind of cool because, you can literally just click back and forth. Sometimes, maybe sometimes the show isn't something you want to listen to. Maybe sometimes it is. Maybe you want to check back and forth. Who knows? But either way, it's literally one click and you're listening. So I'm very excited. I can't tell you how this is a big step. It's a big step.
Yeah.
Thank you, Austin and Nemesis, for helping us make this happen.
Yeah, this came to us Wednesday, right before we got ready to go live, to be honest with you. And sorry, lost my train of thought. Phone goes away. Sorry. So yeah, it came to us. Nemesis came to us and said, "Hey, I can do this for you guys. Let's try it out." So Wednesday was our very first Facebook Live broadcast for the show, and it was actually
It was really fun.
It was kind of a badass show.
It was really fun.
It was. We had a lot of interaction on the Facebook page, people talking to us or on the live, and it's an easier way for people to be able to contact us.
Yeah, this would, if I was just a listener, this would be a lot more appealing to me because, honestly, Blog Talk and listening to live shows doesn't always work out well on my phone.
It doesn't work out on the...
it'll cut out or hang it up or the show will stop. And so, it was just a little frustrating for my phone, whereas this way, even if I'm on my phone, I can still do it. And I like that a lot.
Yeah. And we've had comments that this actually works a lot better for people.
And sounds better. The sound tends to come through a little better this way for some reason. I don't know why, but I will take it.
And, this is actually an easier way for people to jump through the show. If they were able to catch the first half hour or hour of the show, but want to listen to the last half, they don't have to listen through the whole thing, streaming it from Blog Talk. They can go on the Facebook Live and just skip to wherever they need to. Also, it kind of cuts the middleman. If you don't want to call in, maybe you're kind of shy, you can literally just comment under the link post or the Facebook Live post, and we can interact with you live while we are on the show. Or on the page, either way. Well, that's what I mean. While we're talking on the show, we can interact with you as you comment, and that's pretty cool. Yeah. So this is an exciting next step in the way we broadcast. Yeah, it's fun. And it's nice to be back on the air. Unfortunately, tonight Austin is not joining us. He is our producer this evening. But he'll be back. I think he just didn't like the movie. He was like, I don't want to talk about it. Well, he's got a lot of other things going on, a lot of things that he's got to prep for tonight. So he's down there.
Got a lot of stuff to do.
Yeah. He is the big man on our campus tonight.
Yeah. He's got our D&D session that he's got to set up for tonight. He's got this that he's working with. He's got, just a lot of stuff on his plate tonight. So, we do thank Austin for taking time out of his busy schedule tonight to help us do
Yeah, he's pretty awesome.
Yeah. So, do we have any exciting news for the week?
We do, actually. Well,
for last week, and we'll get to this week in a minute.
Whatever. Okay, so no. Still in freaking isolation. Can't even call it quarantine because we're not sick. We're just isolated.
Yeah.
So
we're not COVID. We are COVID free.
I think. I'm not on wood. No, not really. So last week was pretty quiet. We really just did our normal day-to-day locked in the house crap, but that's about it. think.
So nothing exciting.
Did anything exciting happen that I'm missing? Because I have short-term memory loss, so I don't know what to tell you.
I got a shelf for my Blu-rays.
Yeah. Okay, well, that was exciting.
That happened.
Got an ottoman. Got a cat tree that still has not shown up.
Yeah, so when was that supposed to come?
That was supposed to come last week. It is now scheduled for Wednesday this week.
Makes no sense. Thanks, Costco. Yeah, I'm calling you out. I don't care.
Yeah.
Giant 70-inch TV showed up in like 2 days. This thing has been like 2 weeks. Screw you.
Yeah. They got the replacement because the first one that came in had a big long green streak down the middle of the fucking screen.
Oh yeah. No, it's
Hello, Nemesis the Clown.
heck yeah.
So yeah, like you sent us a Bunko TV.
Yeah.
Brought us a new one.
In less than a week.
Faster than I've gotten the cat tree. My cats are unhappy, okay? They tore up the last one. I need a cat tree. I need you to hurry up.
Don't forget the fact that I didn't even take the broken one. They still left it here.
Yeah, it's still here. It's still here in a box.
Yes, I'm working on that.
Like, if you could come bring me a cat tree and take a TV, that'd be a fair trade.
We're never going to shop at Costco.
That's not true.
Kind of have to, because it's all bulk and there's a lot of you.
Anyway. Ann.
Yes.
Oh, no, go ahead.
No, because that counts as this week. Never mind.
Okay. Ann, do you have any exciting news for this week?
Yes. I started working at my new job.
Go ahead and shout it out.
Applebee's.
Yes. So while we're letting her shout it out and give it a shameless plug only because it's literally my favorite place to eat.
Free food.
Hell yeah. But, so that's fun. I don't technically get tips yet because I'm training, but this guy, he got very drunk and wanted to walk across the street over to the little gas station and bought everyone that was working some candy. And so that was my tip for the day.
She got M&Ms.
I got M&Ms with the fucking nuts in them too.
So we did get a message saying that it sounds like it's working great.
Yes. Yes. I'm
awesome.
excited.
Yes.
I guess it is kind of last week. So,
okay,
if you were listening on Wednesday, you got to hear the great tale of how, we are a D&D family. Literally everybody except the littles in the house right now play D&D. And so, including the uncle and the godfather and guy in glasses. That's just what we do. And it's our social life for COVID. Thanks. Everybody bought themselves new stuff, like dice trays and dice towers, and it was super exciting, and it's really cool to get to shop around for it. My dumbass was like, I found the perfect dice tower. It's so me.
It's literally
like,
2 inches tall.
It's a black castle, and it's got 3 ways for the dice to roll down. So awesome. Austin already himself a new one too, and so we both expected our dice. Okay, I expected and he expected, not together. Expected our dice towers to be the same size. His dice tower shows up and it's freaking huge and like stone and heavy and has light shit on it. Super cool.
Oh my god.
It's so cool.
Yeah. Cool. It's pretty badass.
Mine shows up. The box looks okay. The Amazon box looks okay. And then Dan opens it up, and there's a much smaller box inside. And he brings it to me. He's like, I really feel like this is probably not what you were expecting. And he takes it out. The damn dice tower is 2.5 inches tall. The dice in it, number one, aren't even D&D dice. They're just like regular dice, and they're like, I can't give you a measurement, okay? They're tiny. They're like the tip of my pinky tiny, and that won't work. So
she was as disappointed opening that box as she was the first time I took my pants off.
Oh my god. Sorry. Facebook Live. Anyway, so I was disappointed. It was a good running joke for a couple weeks, and I kept saying, like, if they had been like normal D&D dice, I wouldn't have even cared about the size of the tower because that would have been cool too, like super tiny D&D. What? So the thing is just decorating a shelf in the room that we play D&D in. And Austin, I'm alone, he gets this little package. I got a little bag. And I was like, okay, whatever. I don't want to see what it was anyway. So,
I'm ordering shit again.
Yeah, like, whatever. So they get home, and they come to the kitchen, and he pours out a very tiny set of D&D dice to use in my tower. And I'm so excited right now, even though I don't get to play tonight, but whatever. So excited right now for Friday because it's happening.
Actually, now that Geico has upgraded to a badass fucking dragon, you might be able to actually do shit.
That might be kind of, I'll hold my castle in my hand.
And get a ruler, and then magnifying glass.
It's my turn.
So fun.
It's a natural 20. I know you can't see it. It's a natural 20.
I can
I don't
use
care.
the camera.
It's a badass dice.
I can use the camera on my phone and be like, yeah, that's what it is.
Did I say dinosaur?
No, you said
You
dragon.
said dragon.
I thought,
Dragon.
okay, you confused me.
I didn't say dinosaur.
So, yeah, I'm actually super excited to use that dice tower now. And not only that, but they're like a rose gold colored dice.
They are pretty.
They're so cute.
They're so pretty.
Best son ever. That was like, I'm not gonna lie, it was one of the most thoughtful gifts that I've gotten ever.
Yeah.
Like, it was just like, let me see if I can find her some dice that will work in
Yeah,
that
she
tower.
literally ordered them like the day after you like got your
Freaked out over my tower.
Yeah.
That's cool though. So yeah, there's the excitement for last week.
Cool. So we do have some exciting news coming up in the Wiki Curiosity House this week.
Which is why Falling from Grace will not be airing or starting to air this week.
Yeah.
We will start back up next week.
Yeah.
So we may not have shows this week. We don't know.
Not sure. We'll have to look at what's going on Wednesday. We might have a show Wednesday. I would still like to have a show,
Yeah, we'll just have
but
to see
have
how
our
things
guest
go.
with us. We are having a guest.
We're having multiple guests.
Remember, we are Facebook Live.
We're having multiple guests. You can't say a guest.
Oh, no, okay, fine. I'm sorry. We're having multiple guests.
Yeah,
Thank
it's not
you.
one big person.
You're as big as 3 people.
Right, that's so
Wow.
You said it, bro. Don't say on it.
Okay, we are having 3 guests
There we go.
this week.
Yes.
Very special guest.
Yes, my oldest son, our oldest son.
Thank you.
Our oldest son. I sincerely apologize. Oh my God.
It's okay. I'm used to it.
Our oldest son is coming down to visit with his fiance and her daughter for the week.
That's
They
exciting.
should be here
Tomorrow.
evening, and they are staying until either Friday or Saturday.
Super cool.
Yeah, and I am actually taking some vacation this week so that I can spend some time with them.
Cool shit.
So,
Genuine
Because-
question. Do you think that roast is ready?
No.
We were talking about it yesterday as she was taking me to work. She was like, yeah, I got to take that out today because we got to eat it Monday night. It's frozen solid. And we were talking today, Sunday, morning at 10 o'clock after Saturday when she was supposed to take it out. And I was
So
like,
you did not take it out Saturday.
no.
So you took it out this morning.
Like, I freaked out, took it out this morning. I was like, oh my God, 17-pound roast? I don't know if
She fucking threw it in like hot ass water. It's still frozen solid.
The thing is,
what makes it worse though is that it would have thawed out, but the sink won't plug. And so every time I run water in it, I come back an hour later and the sink is dry and the thing is like extra frozen because like where the water was, the ice just came back and made a wall.
So.
Then it was like it was flash frozen. I was like, what?
The thing is I did request it for Tuesday night, not
Might be
Monday
like that.
night. So,
It's
but
17 pounds of pork roast.
yeah,
I don't even know
that's
how
gonna
to
cook all
cook
that. Put it in a crock pot with some potatoes and carrots.
Not even gonna happen. That thing is twice the size of my crock pot.
Okay, so put it. Yeah.
Cut it up and put it in both.
That's why you literally have a big
Guess what's
ass
happening?
pot for this.
I gotta go get stuff to keep it moist.
I was thinking you could just throw it on that grill thing out back, but I don't know how that would work.
The smoker?
No, I can't do that.
I mean, if I had Tuesday off, I would.
Yeah. I'm not touching
Smoke
that
it all day.
smoker.
No, don't touch my smoker.
I'd probably end up burning the house down. I don't know what happened. I just used 4 fire starters.
4 fire starters, some fuel, and a whole bunch of wood.
Well, so we got this thing because without guests, we're a large family at all times. And so So I figured, this is like at least 2 days of meals because if the first night it's like a normal roast, you just eat it. But then you can turn it into other meals and stretch it because that's what I do.
Pork street tacos.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm excited.
Now I have to get me some. Everybody pray for Kroger because if I don't find green chilies this week, somebody's gonna hear it. Just saying.
We will go on the show specifically to bitch about it.
Right? Like, I don't know what's happening right now, but...
We will have a show on Falling from Grace just a bitch about not getting green peppers at Kroger.
The same shit at the exact same fucking time. Like, we went to the store, there's a whole ton of seasoning, right? 0 tiger seasoning. Tell me why everyone wants tiger seasoning in one day.
Right?
Because it's badass.
Just want some. I only have, like...
Look, I found you your everything bagel seasoning.
We literally have this much left, like a tiny little sliver.
Because it's so good.
I mean, if Austin wouldn't pour it directly on his tongue.
Don't call it out like that. We did find that everything bagel at Costco, though.
Yeah, and I will tell you guys, so TikTok, that whole TikTok made me do it thing, I started doing low carb a couple weeks ago. And so all over TikTok is this, you put, slice of pepper up, and you put cream cheese on it, and then you put the everything bagel seasoning on it, which I thought was going to be super gross because I'm not a big, I don't particularly care for sesame seeds, but whatever. So I looked everywhere, though, and our stores don't have it. Apparently, it is the fad right now. But you know who does have it in jumbo-sized containers?
And a lot of it.
Costco. So excited. I have so much.
Which is funny because literally 10 minutes ago she was bitching at Costco for not getting her cat tree here.
Literally just want the cat tree. And then I can order another one later.
Just no ordering online from Costco. How about that?
Well, I would have gotten it in store, but I was too much of a cheapskate and waited a week. And when I went back, everybody saw what a good deal it was, and everybody took it.
I literally told her, hey, get it. It's right here. We need it. Get it. She's like, no, I'll wait till the next time we come back. It'll be here.
It was gone.
It was gone.
Like all of them.
Like a week later, we went back, and it was gone.
Everybody around us must have heard me yelling about how cheap it was.
You're like, ooh.
She right. Let's get it. You get 2.
I'll buy a cat
stimulus.
I'll buy a cat just for this. Everybody got their stimulus and bought it on the cat tree and used it for the cat tree.
No, it's for all their fucking tigers they bought back then.
Oh my God. Tiger King rolling up in this bitch.
So that's our exciting news for the upcoming week. We can't promise that, they'll experience a lot of excitement because, COVID. But it'll be nice to visit.
Yeah. Well, we've got stuff we could do.
Yeah, we got nice, fast food places.
We've got board games.
That's about it.
I have a new TV that we can watch stuff on.
Literally all day today, our teenagers did nothing but play board games, which was kind of cool.
Yeah.
That's kind of badass.
Yeah. Some backgammon, some checkers, some Battleship.
Oh my God, they fucking suck at Battleship. They don't suck at Battleship. One of them sucks at Battleship. I'm not gonna call them out though, because I love them. No, Austin. But it's okay, because I suck too, so I really can't say anything. Austin's a fucking champion.
He is. He's so weird. He's so weirdly good at things. That's why he has such an ego. Because it doesn't matter. I'm still going to win.
I'm better than everybody else.
He is, though. That's the fucking...
It's okay. He's tall and reaches everything for me. So I don't live in a house made for me.
And I can't be mean. He can literally, toss me over his shoulder like a fucking, rag doll. So, I'm good.
All right.
We are going to take a quick break. When we come back, we are going to be discussing the newest installment into the DCU.
Yay!
The DC Cinematic Universe. Wonder Woman 1984. So, if you have seen it, feel free to comment. If you have not seen it, I will warn you now, we always do spoilers. So we are going to spoil the movie. Don't know what to tell you.
It sounds good. I'll watch it. How about that?
Yeah, you haven't watched it yet?
No, but I'll make comments on how hot she is. It's okay. I don't even know. I need to Google actually because I haven't seen anything about this movie.
All right, and on that note, we'll be back.
Behind the screen, we'll be right back. Welcome back to Behind the Screen Radio Show.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. If you want to call in and talk to us about tonight's movie, about last week's show, about what you would like to talk about on either the Cinephiles or a movie you would like us to discuss, you can call in 718-664-9735. Again, 718-664-9735. Or you can reach us on the live stream. We are streaming live on our Facebook page right now.
You can comment. We will answer.
Yeah.
We are here. So, exciting.
Yay. So, all right, let's get into tonight's show. I don't know why my voice just went really hard and high right there. So, I apologize. Let's get into tonight's show. We are discussing Wonder Woman 1984. This is the second part to Wonder Woman. This is, of course, before Justice League week in Batman versus Superman and all that. So it is the latest installment into the DC Cinematic Universe.
Hello. I'm back. Okay, what are we talking about?
Talking about Wonder Woman 1984.
Yes.
So let's just go ahead and jump right into it. So Diana Prince, who is of course Wonder Woman, I mean, blah blah blah. We already know that. She has spent the better part of the last couple of decades brooding over the loss of her
Lover.
From World War II, if I'm not mistaken. And she has basically cut herself off from life, essentially. She works in a museum. She works in restorations and stuff like that, and blah, 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 blah. So we start out and we have this brooding Amazon right in the middle of the 1980s, which was
Is that where it started, though? That's not where it started.
No, okay.
Because one of my favorite parts was actually the little girl who played Diana.
Yeah, Lily Estelle.
Yeah, in the beginning of the movie, that was actually one of the more. I actually really enjoyed that part of the movie.
Okay, yeah, you're right. So we'll back up. So it actually starts when Diana was younger and she was going through the Amazon trials to become the greatest warrior.
But she was notably younger, like way younger than everybody else competing.
Yeah, she was at least, so she was probably 10, 11, or 12.
I would say 9 or 10 or 11, maybe. She was tiny.
Yeah, and the rest of them competing were all adults.
Yeah.
And she was actually kicking ass.
That little girl is in that whole, like, scenario of when they start the contest and they're going through all these things. I'm not going to lie. I realized that this child did not do her own stunts, but I will admit that this little girl looked like a little badass.
Yeah, she did. She did.
That's why it was one of my favorite parts, because I was like, first of all, she's super cute. But second, like, dang.
I mean, I'm sure she did some of them, like some of the close-up shots and stuff like that.
Yeah, it was cool.
It was actually kind of cool. That whole scene was actually probably the best scene in the entire movie.
It was my favorite part.
Because it sets up a lot throughout the rest of the movie. And it's actually really cool because you get to see a lot more of the Amazon women and their traditions and their rituals and stuff like that. And it's actually a pretty cool sequence because it's like a triathlon.
Yeah.
With badass people.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I liked that scene probably the most in the whole movie, although admittedly I'm not a DC fan. Haven't been a fan of any of the Wonder Woman movies or anything with her in it. I just think it's crap. Sorry. But this was the better of those movies.
Yeah.
I enjoyed this more.
I will say that scene was probably one of the best scenes in the entire DC cinematic universe right now. As we discussed last year, when Shazam came out and we watched it, it's still the best DC movie, live action movie out there.
Yeah. Shazam was the formula that they should have had. Yeah.
The formula that they should keep, the formula that they should have had to begin with. It was the best, and it's still one of my favorite. It is my favorite DC movie by far.
Yeah.
And it's one of my favorite superhero movies, hands down. But this scene in this movie is actually one of the better scenes that I have seen in all of the DC live action movies.
Well, and especially in the Wonder Woman part of that world because, like, the stunts that they tend to have her do are weird. They're weird, and yet in this scene in particular, even though it was a child, they were fun to watch.
Yeah, and even the scenes, even the stunts that the adults performed, were actually pretty cool. I mean, all the way that they filmed the scene should have been the way that they filmed the rest of the movie, because it wasn't. There wasn't a whole lot, if any, slow motion action scenes in that whole scene. It was fluid, it was consistent, and it was easy. It was easy to follow. It made sense, and you actually got excited. You wanted to see her compete. You wanted to see her do better.
Right.
You know, and you actually rooted for her throughout the scene.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you know, she gets knocked off the horse because of her cockiness.
Right, but her little smart ass, I mean, like, I think she was still a winner.
Oh, yeah.
She should have taken it because the ingenuity behind the recovery was pretty cool.
Right, but she also missed.
She did miss a ring.
She missed the ring. She missed one of her marks.
Yeah.
And for her to finish without completing the entire course is essentially cheating.
It is, but it was still pretty cool.
It was pretty cool. It was ingenious, and I actually got pissed when
she got yanked up.
Yeah, when her mother yanked her up and said no.
That wasn't her mom. That was her trainer.
Oh, I thought that was her mom.
No, because her mom came down right afterwards.
That's right. Her trainer. I don't know any of these names, so I'm not even gonna try. Yeah, her trainer stopped her and said, "No, you can't. You are not gonna win. You're not gonna win by cheating because you never do."
Right.
So, and then we get into her current situation, and you know, it focuses on the watch and this and that, and we go through, and so the whole premise of the movie is Wonder Woman coming to terms with the loss of her lover.
Yes.
And what's his name? Maxwell Lord basically getting what he wants by a wishing stone.
That, and also introducing her nemesis for the movie, Minerva.
Yeah, who eventually becomes Cheetah.
Yeah, which.
So I'm gonna say
worst costume ever.
Yeah. So I'm gonna put this out there. The whole plot line and premise of the movie was weird. It was awkward in its execution. And it was just a dumb way to bring back Steve Trevor and to introduce Cheetah in the other antagonists in the movie. I mean, it was just, it felt really awkward. It's like the writer sat down and said, how can we introduce these characters? Wishing stone. Really?
But it was still kind of, the thing is that this movie and the script writing was so much better than most of the other DC movies, if we're being honest.
All of the other DC movies.
Yeah, like I actually didn't hate this movie. I thought that everything flowed pretty well as between the characters, and other than Cheetah, because I'm sorry, no. But other than that, it had funny parts, and it wasn't horrible, and it wasn't.
It was okay. So I'm not gonna sit here and say that this movie was horrible, because it was better than a lot of the other movies. Because after this movie, I was like, maybe the rest of the DCU movies aren't that terrible. And I tried to sit down and watch Justice League again, and 45 minutes into it, I fell asleep and slept through the entire movie.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, and then I woke up and I'm like, okay, the other DC movies are as crappy as I thought they were.
Right. Well, and the thing is if you are not DC or Marvel, but if you are a superhero fan, it has to be well known that Marvel makes better movies.
I mean, that's known throughout the whole cinematic.
Right. So
you know.
When a new DC movie comes out, it's kind of like, that's a cool idea. Like, okay, when they first introduced Wonder Woman, it was so exciting because, especially for my generation, like most of us grew up wishing we were Wonder Woman. I had my own little gold bands and a lasso. So yeah.
I mean, I didn't wish I was Wonder Woman.
But she was
She was cool.
She was a cool superhero, and the disappointment felt when the movie came out and she was just weird. And it's not the actress. It was the movie, and it was the stunt work, and it was the filming. It was so weird that...
Well, when she was introduced in Batman versus Superman...
Yeah.
It was awkward because it was an awkward introduction. It really was.
Her stunts were weird.
They were.
It was my least favorite part of it. That's what made it weird for me. It wasn't even her or her lines or anything like that. But every time she was Wonder Woman and would do her hi-ya kick and then float through the air, I was like, what is happening right now?
Yeah.
Because the rest of the world doesn't look like it's speeding past her. It's like everything's slowed down and we're just floating along waiting for this kick to impact on something. I hated it. I hated it.
The slow motion stunt work throughout all of the Wonder Woman movies was just awkward.
Which they didn't really do in this movie, and that's what I liked. Now, the floating on the windstream stuff was a little weird, but it was still not previous movie weird.
Yeah, the whole her trying to fly and...
She wasn't flying. She was taking his advice, and the way that you do it is, you find the jet stream and you ride the air. She wasn't flying. She was riding the air.
Which is awkward. And her, like web slinging from lightning bolt to lightning bolt with her lasso of truth.
It's kind of cool, though. I'm not going to lie. It might not be realistic in the DC universe, but it was kind of cool. It's better than slow motion kicks.
Yeah.
And I kind of like the fact that they brought her invisible plane in. That was pretty cool, too.
Oh, my God. Let's get onto this invisible plane thing for just a second. Okay? First, we got to back up, but we got to bring in... Nemesis, I agree. Yeah, riding the air sounds kinky. You got to ride the jet stream, baby. But let's back up for a minute. Let's get to this wishing stone first. Because she wishes that Steve Trevor could come back. And he does. In somebody else's body. Which is just...
It was not cute.
Awkward.
It was not cute. I was really glad when they just changed it to her vision of him because it was weird.
But you're thinking the whole time that
you done stole somebody's whole body.
Yeah. And she is because they did have sex. Let's be honest.
Oh, we know they did.
Yeah, it's obvious.
The SEX word.
Sex. But she was fucking somebody else.
She was doing it with another dude.
Yeah, chill.
Why are you so
I don't want to get censored. I don't want our show to get booed.
She was making love with another human.
But she had to see, obviously she wasn't seeing that person, though. She was seeing him.
Right, but that's still awkward because it's somebody else's body, and...
I want to know what happened when that guy woke up. Did that guy wake up? Did we see that?
We did not see that.
We should have seen that. We should have seen him being like, what day is it? What did I drink last night?
Right? It's like 4 days later. I haven't been to work. Did I get fired?
Whose stuff is in my house? What is this? Where did I go?
What's
Like, where's his family? And his girlfriend, if he has one. Although he was a little Miami Vice-ish.
No, I mean, come on, it is 1984. Let's be honest.
That's horrible.
But it was just awkward. I mean, that whole situation was just really awkward. And then, so he's a pilot from World War II. Am I getting this correct? Wonder Woman was set in World War II, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So he's a pilot from World War II. And now she's trying to catch up with Maxwell Lord, who at this time, he's already gotten the Wish Stone. He's absorbed it. He himself has become the Wish Stone. Maxwell Lord, played by, Pedro Pascal, who also plays Din in The Mandalorian, who is the Mandalorian, and is overseas in, I don't remember if they said the country, some Middle Eastern country.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to get oil rights and stuff like that, and trying to get more money and everything like that.
Well, basically what it was when somebody else would make a wish, he would grant it, but he would take something in return.
Yeah.
Because he was now officially the Wish Stone, because he absorbed all of it.
Right. So they have to get their quit. So what's the quickest way to get there? Fly. So you have this World War II pilot climbing into the cockpit of a modern day jet.
Was it modern day? It was over at the museum.
Right, but it's still decades ahead of his time.
Right, but was it modern day? I don't think it was.
Yeah, if you look at it, it was probably from the 70s. But still, it's still decades ahead of his time. And he's like, oh, it was basically the same, which it's really not, because the planes that he flew were, what?
Fun fact.
Okay, yeah, fun fact. I like fun facts.
Lily Espel
Uh-huh.
did, in fact, perform all the required physical stunt work herself at the age of 12 because it was deemed that she did the job better than her stunt doubles.
Really?
Yeah.
She's bad as fuck.
Yeah. She is a badass bitch.
Yeah. Badass little kid, bro.
Yeah. Hands down, badass little
I
kid.
would not want to piss her off.
No. I'd be afraid if I was her parents. I'm afraid of my own 9-year-old.
Oh, fucking monkey.
She's a spider monkey. So you have this World War II pilot that climbs into the cockpit of a plane that's literally 3 decades ahead of his time, and he's like, oh, it's literally just the same. We just got to press a couple buttons, and he's able to fly it. That's the first issue I have with that whole scene. And then she makes it invisible. When did Amazons have magical powers?
Oh.
Like, when were they able to create? I mean,
well, she had an invisible plane.
I guess she probably could because she's half god.
Yeah.
But it was just still awkward. I mean, it was a cool way to introduce the concept of one woman's invisible plane, but it's still just really weird. If I remember correctly, I think it was an F4 Phantom because it's a tandem seat, side by side. I think that was one of the only jets that had a tandem seat. Instead of one behind the other, they were side by side. And then they take off and they fly across the ocean. Second contention. First off, why is there fuel in this plane if it's going to the museum? Number two, why is there enough fuel in this plane for it to do a, cross-Atlantic or cross-Pacific trip? And number three, there's no fighter jet that can carry that much fuel on its own. So did they get refueled in an invisible jet?
I don't know.
I mean, that whole premise is one big plot hole. And then where did they land when they got there? Like, how do you land an invisible jet in the middle of nowhere?
Them just said because it's a movie.
And I understand that. I understand it's a movie. But it still makes zero sense if you're trying to keep with our physics. Because that plane can't fly high enough to not use the fuel. Because, so, a little bit of physics lessons for you. Airliners, when they climb up to 30 to 35,000 feet, they climb that high because the air is thinner and they use less fuel. There's less drag. And they can burn the fuel cleaner, richer, more efficiently. So that's why they climb to those heights. A 1970s F4 Phantom maybe gets up to, 7,000 or 8,000 feet at the most. Something like that. 10,000 if we're pushing the limits. The air is the air resistance is still going to be the same, so that the jet is still going to burn the same amount of fuel, and it's going to empty its reserves before it gets halfway across the ocean.
Yeah.
So how did that work?
I mean, I don't know. It's a movie. They just did it.
They didn't think anyone was going to think this deeply into it. Well, maybe not most people.
Yeah, because most people don't look at the movie and be like, but that's not possible.
Yeah.
But I do.
Yeah.
That's why that's what I do. But anyway, so the concept of the invisible plane was actually pretty cool. The fact that Steve Trevor would not be able to fly it because he'd look at it and it'd be like Henry Ford jumping into a 2021 F-150 and being like, what in the hell do I do? That's literally the gap that it would be. Okay. Moving on.
Are we?
Huh?
Are we?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I literally just spent 15 minutes talking about the plot hole behind the invisible jet and Wonder Woman.
Them said DC always has plot holes in movies.
They do.
They do.
They do. And
It's one of their big drawbacks in their movies, because there's always, you always end the movie going, but why? Why did that happen? And just like this one, really to wrap it up neatly with a bow, we should have seen how the person that her boyfriend went into, he was just magically okay after being taken over by a dead person for a week. What?
Yeah. Well, that was weird.
It's not like he took over a dead body, because dude he obviously had a life.
Yeah. And the thing is, you gotta wonder, did he wake up sore? Because, Steve Trevor kind of did some things. Kind of hit some people, got hit.
He got his butt kicked a few times.
Yeah. So the guy wakes up and he's like,
ow, what is that?
Yeah.
Is that a broken rib?
I'd be pissed if I woke up a week later and I had felt like a Mack truck had hit me 3 times.
Well, so another thing that they introduced was Asteria's gold armor.
I really wanted to dive into that, and I'm so glad you hit that.
It was, so Asteria's gold armor is based on the armor Wonder Woman wears in the Alex Ross graphic novel Kingdom Come.
Okay.
And Ross commented in an interview that he was pretty upset because studios didn't compensate him for using his design in any other media besides comics.
Welcome to DC.
They own you, so I don't know what to tell you. Anyway, it was ugly.
So let's get the lore of the armor first.
Sure, but it was ugly.
Yeah. So.
And it looked cumbersome and not like it was even remotely like helpful.
So the lore of the armor is that, what's her name?
Asteria.
Okay, Asteria used the armor. She had taken like metal from all of the clans, the Atlanteans, the tribe of men, and Amazonians, and had created this armor so that she could fend off. I don't remember who was attacking them.
Well, I don't know if it goes the same as Greek mythology goes with it.
Okay.
So in Greek mythology, the Amazon Asteria was one of those slain by Hercules when he came to Themyscira.
Themyscira?
Okay.
Yeah.
To take Hippolyta's girdle as one of his famous labors. And Asteria is also the name of the Greek goddess of stars, by the way.
Okay. Cool. But I think she did to fight off the gods.
Well, that would be Hercules.
No.
No, he's part god.
Anyway. So
that's not what it says.
What?
Unless it's a typo. It says Heracles. I really believe it.
Heracles.
Heracles. There you go.
So there's Hercules and then there's Heracles.
Okay, so it was to she was slain by Heracles.
Okay. And I think that's actually in the movie. I don't remember, but so fast forward to the movie. So now somehow Wonder Woman has this armor, even though the armor is supposed to be given to the one that wins the trials.
Right.
So she just gets it.
So we don't even see how she got the armor. So, I mean, did she win the trials at some point? Because we know that she was stopped when she was 11 or 12 or whatever because she cheated.
That was Diana.
Yeah.
Well, so no, I believe her mother gave it to her. I believe it was gifted to her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So she's got this armor in a closet. It's supposed to be this amazing, strong, I'm going to enhance your powers and keep you protected armor. Right? Like this is supposed to protect her against...
This is supposed to be like godlike armor.
Yes, this protected...
Like invincible.
This protected the other woman against gods. I mean, eventually she was killed, but the armor survived.
Against gods.
Against gods.
Who have actual powers.
Yeah. So now we have Barbara Minerva, who wished to become like Diana Prince, and gave her...
Basically, it sucked Diana's powers from her and was like leaking into Cheetah.
Into Barbara.
Right.
Yeah, and then eventually Barbara wished to be, a predator. Because the way that Diana Wonder Woman got her powers back was to let go of Steve.
It was to give up the wish.
Yeah, give up the wish.
Yeah.
I give up my wish, which is one of the dumbest parts of this movie. Like, oh my God, she's running away. I give up my wish. And as she's saying this, she's healing and stuff like, oh my God, fucking stupid.
You're a nerd.
It was one of the worst, parts of the movie.
Yeah, I mean, but it fit for that
It
particular.
fit for the DC.
Yes, I mean, it fit. So
Yeah.
it wasn't like I didn't really even. It was just a fleeting moment. I really didn't.
But it was cringeworthy. It was one of the most cringeworthy moments in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're coming up to the most cringeworthiest, if that's a word, cringeworthiest moments of the movie.
Yeah.
Diana in this armor. She comes down. This is like one of the final battles. Okay?
It's bad armor.
One of the final battles. She actually looks pretty badass in this
She
armor.
might, but
I'm not gonna lie.
I imagine that the person originally wearing it only died because she couldn't move.
Right? I'm not gonna lie, she kind of looks badass in this armor. Okay? But she comes down in this armor. And who beats the ever-loving this armor and destroys this armor that gods could not destroy.
Right, and my issue also was like, should Cheetah look like a whore that had been ridden for about a week and flung out the
Looks
gut?
like a reject from Cats.
It reminded me of a really bad gem doll from the 80s. You know what I'm saying? You hate this movie? I hated that part. I could not stand Cheetah. Like, she looked like a crackhead.
It was such bad makeup.
She looked like I'm trying to find a way not to offend everybody listening on a live show, but she looked like she
looked like she had a car to put away wet.
She had bad makeup. She was dressed like a whore for part of it. Okay, all of it. Her hair was all ratty ass looking. Like she just looked like a crackhead supervillain.
Cheetah looked like a crackhead back alley reject from the Broadway show Cats.
It was so bad. Like, couldn't we have given her some things? I don't know. I don't know what would have made that better, but it wasn't this movie.
No.
It was so bad.
So
then she drowned like a cat. She hated water.
So Diana wears this armor for all of maybe 5 to 10 minutes of the movie before it gets destroyed, and she sheds it like a snake shedding a skin.
It got destroyed by a cat.
By fucking Cheetah.
By a cat.
By a cat.
By a drugged up cat. How did that happen?
Yeah. Like, this armor survived gods.
Yeah. And time.
And time. And a cat destroys it.
Yeah. She was not my favorite. Like, you remember when we first met Catwoman? She was Michelle Pfeiffer.
Mm-hmm.
Michelle Pfeiffer looked like an alley whore.
Okay. I will say, Halle Berry Catwoman looked better than Cheetah. Halle Berry from the movie Catwoman.
But Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman did not. They was equal.
No, Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman was better than that.
I mean, the Catwoman suit itself was better than this, but
yeah,
they both look like they probably should have put the needle down a while ago.
Right?
Like, I don't really understand the thought process. Why is that because I feel like sometimes DC goes down that road. Why is it when it's a supervillain and it's a female?
She looks like crap.
She looks like I'm sorry guys, but she looks like a meth head who has been on a binge for 2 weeks. Why is that where we go?
They did the same thing in Suicide Squad.
Yes.
Harley Quinn, who's supposed to be, and same thing in Birds of Prey. Although
that's the case.
Harley Quinn was kind of that mentality.
She was, but the thing is DC goes down that road every time. It can't ever be
a sophisticated
bad guy.
Yeah.
That's a goal. Why is it always that the women who are the nemesis, no pun intended, always end up looking like used up whores? Why is that? DC, I'm going to need you to fix that, because that's kind of offensive. Why can't we have look at Lex Luthor. He was a bad guy. He was super freaking classy.
Kind of.
In the old Superman movies.
In the old Superman movies, yeah.
He
and
sure
even
was.
in Superman Returns,
yeah,
he
like,
was.
Why is it that whenever we have a bad person who's a female, it's like they're just gutter trash, and that's why we should hate them? Like, that's
Well, the thing
crappy.
is even if you look at the women heroines in DC, I'm sorry.
Diana's pretty classy.
That costume though, and I know it's a throwback to the original.
Actually, yeah.
I get it, and that's fine. But if you look at it, and I hate doing this so often, but I love doing it. Let's go ahead and compare Marvel and
Well, I'm just
DC.
saying, look at Black Widow compared to any female of power in a DC movie.
Yeah.
Black Widow looks amazing. Look at Wanda. Look at, I don't know.
Pepper Potts.
Yes.
Look
oh my
at
gosh, yes.
Captain Marvel. I mean, all these women,
They're
look
beautiful.
like they're empowering.
Yeah, they're
They
beautiful,
look like
but
they
look.
can kick your ass.
Or how about the women from Wakanda? Like, come on now.
Yeah. Yeah, they look classy and they look
They look
like
amazing.
yeah,
They make you
present
want to be
themselves.
them, even if they were villains of any sort, which I'm sure somewhere out there there's a female Marvel villain, but even if they were villains, they still are kind of like, ooh, I want to be her. Like,
Right?
I definitely do not want to be Cheetah.
No. And even Wonder Woman's costume, I mean, again, I get it's a throwback to the original, but there are ways to make
I
it
didn't hate her
look.
costume. I didn't hate it, and I think the thing is like, look at how they present Diana in 90% of the movie. She is beautiful. She is powerful, which is why Minerva wanted to be like her, because she has a very powerful presence, and that's great. But that's so few and far between with DC. Like, it always has to go down a road of kind of, sort of, like, I don't want to get into, like, the politics of it or whatever, but they degrade women on a different level. When I watch Marvel, it doesn't matter if they're bad or good. Like, almost every female on the screen is hot and beautiful and
Can kick your ass.
can kick your ass. Well, yeah, but they're covered. Like, the only time that they're not is when Black Widow is in spy mode and, you know.
When she was in her dress.
Yeah, like.
And even then, it
It's
wasn't.
still freaking hot.
Yeah. Even then, it wasn't revealing. I mean,
No.
you saw cleavage, yes.
I kind of
But-
despise how they have, because they've had a lot of female villains for DC, and all of them end up looking kind of trashy and acting trashy,
Yeah.
and I just think that's kind of a crappy way to go. Like, we could do better.
Yeah. Like, for.
It's not even about women empowerment. It's just, you could do better. There's no reason for me to look at the screen and be like, that is horrible. That's horrible.
For Suicide Squad and Birds of Prey, they definitely could have done a lot better with Harley Quinn's costume, because there are multiple examples of Harley Quinn being completely covered up and still looking beautiful and still having that,
Well, yeah,
that
because
sex appeal,
the thing
but
is, Harley
that
Quinn is actually kind of cool, and
she is.
I don't hate her. I'm not a huge fan of these movies, but especially the person who plays her, like,
Margot Robbie's pretty cool.
she's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So we don't have to actually make her look like super trashy. We already know who she is.
Yeah, but if you look at the cartoon, you look at the comics, and you look at any of the animated movies, Harley Quinn 90% of the time is fully covered. 90% of the time. There are some times when she's not, of course. But then you have this costume, like you said, that came out in Suicide Squad, where if she didn't have the fishnet stockings, as soon as she bent over, you'd see all ass.
Now, I will say, though, because our daughter a couple of years ago was Harley Quinn for Halloween, and I will say that the leather outfit she wore was awesome.
Yeah.
And I liked that costume. The little tiny mini skirt with the holes in the fishnet stockings was not. But the leather costume was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did that. Little story time. I did that for Halloween one year. It's a little crop top, had long sleeves, it was a short little skirt, and I had my fishnets and my docs on. I was like 12, I think. and this old man calls me a whore. And
Thank you.
gave me my candy, and I was like,
Well, you're just an ass.
Well, that's rude. It's Halloween. You don't even know what I'm dressed up as. Maybe I am a whore. Could you throw in a little extra?
right? I was like,
That's Cherry Street.
True story, sir. Thanks. You got it right. Give me another candy bar.
so think about it when you dress up as Harley Quinn. Just think about it.
Well, yeah, and I know that when we went trick or treating with our daughter, and granted, yes, that costume is I would say it was kind of sort of revealing, but not really, because it didn't end up being like a crop top necessarily too much on her.
No.
And then it had like the arm covers and things like that. And yeah, it was probably a little mature for a 14-year-old, but she looked cute in it. So I mean, whatever.
Well, the thing is it didn't show anything. There was no cleavage showing. It wasn't skin tight.
And I'm not saying that we should judge on how revealing their costumes are, because again, I am still of the belief that if you have a problem with the way somebody is dressed, then it's your problem, not theirs. Like, have some self-control. But
On the same
do we
token-
have to make them look trashy?
Yeah. So my biggest issue with Wonder Woman's costume, number one, is the fact that literally all it does is cover up her no-no pockets. And
What the fuck did you say?
covers up her no-no part. We're live. I'm trying to be
No square.
her no-no square.
It does cover up all the bits and pieces.
Yes.
Everything that needs to be covered.
But when you look at the top of it, the gold top of her top, it's got sharp points.
Yeah.
How the hell does she not stab herself?
Sneeze.
Right. You sneeze and you stab yourself
I
in your
don't
own
know about
costume.
anybody else, but when I sneeze, the head goes back and then forward. And if I had pointy things coming up from my bra, I'd probably impale myself through my chin.
Like, the whole costume is not, it doesn't move very well with
Well,
her.
no, she does not have a functional costume. She doesn't have functional armor. Nothing about what they have her in 90% of the time is functional for a
And
hero.
one thing I want to bring up, because this happens a lot in superhero movies in general, but I notice it a lot in like the DC movies, especially with Wonder Woman. I don't remember if Black Widow had it necessarily. I don't think Captain Marvel had it. But can we talk about those go-go boots for a minute?
On who?
Wonder Woman?
Oh. Well, they're not really go-go boots because they're not thick on the bottom.
The heels.
Again, throwback to the actual 80s where apparently we thought women were really able to run in heels. We can't, guys. We shouldn't. It's painful.
So it's not the typical heels with the one heel down. It's all filled in that part, but it still lifts her up.
Yeah.
And so we all.
Those are booty pop heels.
If you don't know, guys, heels were literally invented to accent a woman's buttocks.
Yeah, they're butt lift heels.
Yeah. So why would that be in a costume that you're fighting in?
I don't know, but I refuse. Like, I don't even like to wear shoes, much less heels. I would probably die.
I think I've seen you in heels once.
They lasted for an hour, and I hit them under a table.
And they were wedges.
They hurt
They were
so
wedges.
much, so. Chubby girls should not wear heels. I'm just putting it out there. Shouldn't. That's forward momentum. No.
Look, women, you are absolutely beautiful when you wear heels with a dress, and because it accentuates your body. I'm not going to say it lifts your butt because, I mean, that's what it does, but I'm not going to say that. It makes you look classy. It makes you look delicate. It makes you look...
Makes your butt look good.
Literally does not make me look delicate, okay? I walk around like Shrek.
Shrek is love. Shrek is life.
No, I can take them off because, no, it's like a troll trying to trample through a flower bed. Like, it's not classy.
But I would... Okay. I like the way you looked in heels.
I
thought you
appreciate
were
it so much,
beautiful.
but it freaking hurt so bad.
And women in heels, when they're in a ball gown or in a dress, and they're in heels, and you're going to something formal and stuff like that.
Which I was.
It's absolutely gorgeous.
Yes.
But why do you have to have these heels when you're trying to fight crime?
I don't know, because see, you got to remember, think about it. In the 80s, all of them had those heels, if not worse. Like,
she had it in Batman versus Superman. She had them in Justice League. She had them in Wonder Woman.
I don't know what to tell you. Just saying. Like,
Look.
Thank you, DC.
I know nobody's probably listening, but on the off chance that they are, DC, you really, really need to get your act together.
We just need to rethink how we're doing it, because again, if we look at Marvel, I don't remember Black Widow other than in Spyware, or in in Spyware, wearing stupid things that she couldn't run in. When she was running, she was running. Same with Captain Marvel. They were flat.
Yeah. They may have had like a little bitty heel because
not much though,
but they weren't like that.
They were functional footwear for people who were literally out there running across,
And I seriously doubt that Pepper Potts had heels in her armor in Endgame.
I don't think she did. I think everybody wore boots, and they were functional boots. They weren't like.
And the women of Uganda were barefoot.
Yeah.
And
that's my kind of women.
And they kicked more ass than any other female in any superhero movie.
It wasn't Uganda.
Not Uganda, Wakanda. Wow.
Yeah.
Slip of the tongue. I'm sorry.
I will fight next to Wakanda any time of the day. Me go barefoot all the time. It's good.
Right. Nice badass bitches. Beautiful too. So.
Well, so her wardrobe really was based on, Brooke Shields. 1980s Brooke Shields.
Yeah. And I get it, but it was just... Okay. So this movie was immensely better than 99% of the DC live-action movies out there in the DC universe current. In the current DC universe, not going back to Christopher Columbus's, going back to, in the current DC universe, this was one of the better ones. It's probably still number 3 or 4 on my list, which is sad because I still think Suicide Squad was better than this movie. But DC still have a formula that works. When I saw previews for this movie, I was not excited for it at all. In one of the previews, you literally see her swinging from lightning bolt to lightning bolt. And I'm just like, that's actually just a really stupid part of the movie. And then it came to HBO Max. And the same day it hit theaters, was it December 24th or December 25th? Either one. I think it hit Christmas Day. We didn't watch it until the week after.
Yeah.
But
I wasn't excited for this movie. We all knew that. I didn't actually want to sit and watch it.
If you've been following the show for a while, if you've been listening to Behind the Screen, if you know me at all, you know I'm a huge movie collector. I just recently bought a shelf to put all my Blu-rays on, and I'm actually kind of disappointed that it only fills up half of it, which means I have more work to do. But I have a very extensive movie collection, Blu-rays, DVDs, and VHS. Yes, I still own VHS movies. The only reason that I would buy this movie, oh, and I have 4K too. The only reason that I would buy this movie is to complete the collection. Like, I have no desire to own this movie other than to complete the collection because of OCD. Like, that's it. While this movie was better and I enjoyed it a little more, because there were some points in the movie that were enjoyable. There were some points where there was some comedy in it. I loved the way that they portrayed Diana Prince as a sophisticated woman, definitely a woman of strength and power, especially in the 80s, because the 80s was the big push for women in power in business. That's when women really stepped out into the business world and started to hold positions of power in businesses and in companies and stuff like that. And I'm really glad that they showed her in that role because it fit with the decade. The same thing with Barbara. She was this kind of nerdy, geeky female that was not well liked by her colleagues.
Right.
But she was still smart, and she was still in a position that commanded a little bit of respect within the company, like, within the museum. Even though they didn't respect her as a person and they always made fun of her and all that, they really brought out the, how do I say it without saying women empowerment? Because I don't like using the phrase.
Strengths of women?
Yes. That was coming about in the 80s. But overall, when you compare the movie as a movie outside of the DCU, compare it just as a movie to other movies that we've reviewed, other movies that we've watched, other movies that are out there, it's not a good movie. There were issues with the script, and we discussed one of the biggest ones when she had to get rid of her wish, when she had to take back her wish, when she was leaving Steve and she's the falling and I give it my wish. That was such a horrible part of the movie. The costume design and the makeup of the costume design of Wonder Woman has been crap since Batman versus Superman, and they haven't done anything to fix it, and it kind of pisses me off. The costume design and makeup of Cheetah was horrible. I'm glad that they had less of the slow motion shots than they did in every other movie.
Me too. Like, I probably couldn't have sat through it if that's where we were going.
Because if you notice, it's only in movies that have Wonder Woman in it, and it's only focused on Wonder Woman. Like the fight between Batman and Superman, no slow motion.
Yeah, why does she fly so slow, guys?
Yeah. Like,
why? It looks stupid. I'm just gonna say it.
Yeah.
That's bad. It's stupid. It looks bad.
There were huge plot holes because a lot of movies, if not all movies, have minor plot holes that you can pick out, but you're like, okay, that's
Most
minor.
of it you can infer where that hole was supposed to be filled.
Yeah. And a lot of them are filled with deleted scenes that we don't get to see.
Yeah, they're usually minute. Like, it's not usually anything that's actually relevant to the basis of the story.
Yeah. It's like, how did that person know this person's name?
Yeah. I mean, whatever. Whatever.
Yeah. One of the biggest plot holes in movies is Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Rufus never tells Bill and Ted his name. The only way that they find out is future Bill telling past Bill and Ted when they're at the store, hey, listen to this man, Rufus, he knows what he's talking about. It's the only way that we ever find out his name. But we have to infer that at some point...
They heard it.
Yeah, they heard his name. You can infer that. But the fuel consumption of the jet is a huge plot hole. Like, how did they get the fuel to do a cross-ocean trip? Because no fighter jet carries that amount of fuel on them. It would be too heavy. And then they would have to consume more fuel to compensate for the weight of the fuel, and it would just be redundant.
Right.
So it's big things like that just destroy these DC movies. Warner Brothers has not found that they have a formula, but they're not working with the formula that works for their style of movies.
Right.
They want them dark because that's what DC is.
Except Wonder Woman and this movie in particular was not a dark set movie.
No.
It wasn't. Not everything can be like Batman. Not everything's Gotham.
No. But the DC universe is a darker universe than Marvel.
Or they want it to be. They kind of suck at it, though.
Yeah. Well, the colors are more subdued. They're not... I mean, you do have the bright, flashy colors of, like, Superman and Wonder Woman and stuff like that. But if you look at the rest of the universe, you look at the rest of... and even in the comics and the graphic novels and the cartoons, it's more of a subdued colorization versus Marvel, which has a lot of bright colors, even with some of their darker characters like Wolverine, Ghost Rider, and characters like that who are the anti-heroes and stuff like that. They still have these vibrant colors around them. DC is really struggling with keeping the darker universe and trying to cater to kids, trying to keep it to where they can still have kids watch their movies. And having that conflict is kind of killing their movies.
Yeah.
I mean, it's...
The thing is I feel like, especially this last year, was the perfect time for production teams and studios and directors and writers to really, like, sit back and look at their work. Like, they have plenty of time.
Yeah.
I would like to see new stuff coming out. Like, I want to see DC doing better.
Yeah. The thing is DC has such a huge list of awesome characters that they can pull from to be able to create this expansive live action cinematic universe that they can just explode. You know, I mean, they've got Green Lantern, who is an awesome superhero. And you've got Sinestro, who's an awesome supervillain. You know, we've got Joker, who is just this anarchistic entity that causes Batman so much grief. And Christopher Columbus did it so well in The Dark Knight. And then it was all ruined in Suicide Squad with Jared Leto's Joker.
Yeah.
They need to take a step back and look at the characters that they have, the storylines that they have. They need to get better writers in there. Not saying that they have horrible writers, but they need some better writers. Or the writers need to be able to have a little more freedom. They need to get better directors. And they just need to step up their game, or else they're going to lose their universe. Because...
Well, people are going to stop watching. It's bad movie making, and
because people aren't excited for DC movies.
No, I'm waiting to see the next Marvel movie. I'll watch whatever it is. I don't even care.
I'm ready to see Black Widow.
Yeah, I know a lot of people aren't overly excited about it, but she was literally one of my favorite characters, so I'm all for it.
Yeah. I don't want to see the next Suicide Squad. That's the next DC movie in line. I don't want to see it. I'm gonna watch it because it's gonna come to HBO Max, and we'll watch it and review it because that's what we do. But I'm not excited for it. I was not excited for Wonder Woman 84 or 1984. I was pleasantly surprised that it was better than the first Wonder Woman, and that it was better than the other DC movies, but it still was not up to the standard that it could have been, or up to the standard that it should have been.
And it's hard to imagine that any of them will be, is the thing. Like, sometimes I'm like, I don't even want to review it because it's not even, I feel like it's not even worth my time watching. Because I don't pay attention to half of it because I'm not enjoying it.
Yeah. And so I'm going to be in the minority here, and I'm going to say it. I don't think Gal Gadot makes a good Diana Prince or Wonder Woman.
Aw, I do.
I don't. Because when you look at Wonder Woman in some of these other entities that she's in, Gal Gadot just does not really hit it on the head.
Glad you said her name because I was really unsure on how to pronounce it. I've read her name like 50 times tonight. Like, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it because I'm going to say it wrong. I'm going to sound stupid.
I'm not saying she's a bad actress. She's probably a product of bad script writing.
Which is almost everyone who, especially the really good actors that we know are really good actors, and then we watch a movie like this and we're like, oh, okay. It's bad writing, it's bad script work, it's, directing. It's just a combined effort of badness.
Yeah. The thing is even with the bad scripts, Chris Pine still put on an amazing performance.
I mean, yeah. I feel like that's just who he is, though. He's just natural at it.
It's the same thing with Pedro Pascal. His performance was over the top and flamboyant and just really in your face and out there. But that's how his character was, and that's how businessmen of the 80s were, you know.
Well, yeah, and that's how his character was imagined by both writers and director.
Yeah.
So they were basing him off of those 80s high influential and known businessmen.
Yeah. So we really can't say that it's all the script. I just don't think Gal Gadot, or Gal Gadot, however you say it, is a phenomenal actress. She's mediocre at best. And I'm sorry to say that. I really haven't seen her in anything else, and maybe I'll change my mind if I see something else that she's been in. Let's find out what else she's been in. But as Wonder Woman, she's just not great. They have a Justice League Part 2 and a Wonder Woman 3. Let's go down and see if there's anything. She was in Fast 5. She was Giselle in Fast 5, which really wasn't a good role for her. She was Giselle in Fast and Furious 6 and 7. So, I mean, sorry to say it, she's just not. She's not a great actress. I think they could have done better.
I think she's going to listen to the show and be like, you're a dick.
Probably. And that's okay. Because this is my opinion.
I don't think she's horrible as Wonder Woman. I really don't. I actually really liked her in this, particularly in this movie. I would have said the same, like I would have had the same opinion in, especially that first Wonder Woman movie. I was not a fan. I didn't even know who she was. It just felt weird. But I liked her in this movie.
She did better in this movie. I will admit, she did better in this movie. It still feels kind of clunky and forced to me. That makes sense. It really
a little bit.
It feels like she's trying too hard. It doesn't come natural to her. And I hope she does better. I hope she does better in Justice League 2. I hope they get better roles.
I actually am not going to pin my hopes and dreams on that one.
Yeah. Or Wonder Woman 3.
If we gotta look at it, especially with Justice League, literally there's nothing about that movie that makes me want to watch it because who is it that plays Superman?
Oh, you asked me too quick. Oh, God.
He's horrible. As Superman.
Yeah.
Because I've seen him in other things and I'm like, oh, okay, well, he doesn't actually suck. But his role as Superman
Henry Cavill
is horrible.
Well, the thing is you got to find the right role for him because he's good as the Witcher.
Yes.
Because that's the Witcher's role. Because that's how the Witcher is. But that's not how Superman is.
No,
Superman is supposed to be this. He's supposed to be the hope. He is literally supposed to be the embodiment of the American dream. And Henry Cavill has no fucking emotion whatsoever. Henry Cavill cannot play
somebody with passion. It's like asking Keanu Reeves to do something like that. There's just, we know that there are certain roles that he really shouldn't be in, but if it's an emotionless badass,
like John Wick,
he's awesome. But if we're going to ask him to be, Captain Jack Sparrow, that would be horrible.
The problem is DC, and we have only got a few more minutes. The problem is that DC has their casting all wrong. It's not a secret that I'm not a huge fan of Ben Affleck.
But he makes a pretty decent Batman.
No.
He does.
He makes a decent Bruce Wayne.
No, he does make a decent Bruce Wayne.
Okay, he is better as Bruce Wayne than, God, his name just left me. I'm having
George Clooney?
No. Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. George Clooney and Val Kilmer.
You shall not speak of that one. Stop it. That one doesn't actually exist.
No. Christian Bale. Well, hold on. Wait.
Boy.
Wait. Hear me out.
I will slap you.
Hear me out. Okay? He is a better Bruce Wayne than Christian Bale. Christian Bale is a better Batman.
Nah.
Yes.
Christian Bale takes the cake on all of it.
No.
Yep.
No. If you want an all-around, you go Michael Keaton.
Well, yeah, that doesn't count. But as far as The Dark Knight and this new Batman and Dark Knight's Bruce Wayne and this new Bruce Wayne, nah, I'm sorry. Christian Bale still wins. Nope.
You're just gonna be trash.
You cannot convince me otherwise.
And then Michael Ironside's Alfred is just horrible. Michael Ironside, I love him as an actor. He is too young to play
Alfred. That's not, yeah, that's weird. I always liked the Irish guy. Is he Irish?
No.
No, his last name is like.
He's English. Hold on. I got it right here. Give me just a second because I'm blanking on his name too, and I feel
Michael Caine for me was my favorite Alfred. I loved him as Alfred.
I love Mike Caine.
Well, yeah, but he was Alfred. Like,
yeah.
He took that role.
Yeah. I don't think it was. Hold on. I've got to correct myself because I don't think it was Michael Ironside. It was not Ironside. Hold on. Jeremy Irons played off.
It was so bad.
Yeah.
It was so weird. It was bad. It was bad.
It was bad.
I'll take that back. It was just weird, and it wasn't quite fitting.
No, because he was more of a.
He was way
strategist
too
than a
close.
butler.
Well, and he was I felt like he was too close to Ben Affleck's age to be Alfred.
Yeah, Alfred is supposed to be
He was
at
supposed to
least
have raised
20
him.
years older than.
He
Bruce
basically
Wayne.
raised Bruce Wayne, so he would have already had to have been like an adult.
Yeah. All right. We are coming down to the last few minutes of the show.
Yay.
Do you guys like the movie or not?
Okay. Okay. Hold up, because I almost forgot.
I was like, push the damn button.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the final act.
Okay, we are going to do the final act. And because you haven't seen it, we're not going to have you do a final act. But Miss Angel, we're going to have you do your final act. What did you like about the movie? Would you not like about the movie? Would you watch it again? Would you recommend it?
Okay, so yeah, I guess I'm going to go a little backwards. I would recommend it to DC fans.
Okay.
If you actually like the DC movies, and that's fine if you do, that's your own opinion, whatever. Obviously, I would recommend it because it is a great backstory for Diana, minus Cheetah. But I wouldn't recommend it if you're not like a huge DC fan. It just falls in line with all the other ones. I don't know if I would watch it again if the kids wanted to watch it. I would not voluntarily watch it again.
Okay.
What did I like about the movie? I liked the fact that it was better than the previous movies with Wonder Woman. I liked young Diana. I thought she was phenomenal.
Badass.
And I really, really enjoyed watching the scene. What I didn't like about the movie, I didn't like Cheetah. Oh, it was so stupid. It was the worst. I didn't know where to go. Like, it was the most confusing evolution of a villain that I've seen. Like, I don't know why she went from just being a bitch to Cheetah.
Because she wished that she was a predator.
Okay, but this predator was much like the disappointment of seeing Who's the crocodile dude from
Oh God.
Suicide
Killer Croc. Oh, forgot leg day.
Yeah, it was the
Totally
same
skipped leg day.
disappointment as that because his look was really confusing too. Like, why are you so strong up top and you're a swimmer? Why are your legs so skinny?
Right.
Weird looking. No, that's what I didn't like about it. I haven't even drank anything tonight.
You've had a shot.
Oh. Yeah. Okay,
A shot.
A shot. Like, that's not water.
Literally just a shot.
There's so little. Here's the problem. It's hard to review and, like, not critique, but do the final act on a movie that is forgettable.
Yeah.
It wasn't that I didn't like it or that I did like it. It was just kind of there, and except for Cheetah, it was just really bad. So bad. Yep.
So I like the fact. This is hype mine. Okay. Are you good?
I'm good.
Okay.
I'm gonna take a little sip of water.
Okay. Not trying to take away.
No, I'm good. That's
Okay.
it. I got nothing else.
Okay. So I like the fact that they had less. What the fuck?
Sorry.
Knocking over my pills. I like the fact that they had less slow motion in it because that really takes away from the movie.
Well, it just drags it out.
It does, and it's like, okay, one or two shots is cool when you're doing a cool stuff, but literally every time you're in a fight. So the best slow motion shot is in Justice League when she's stopping the bullet.
Yes.
In the bank.
Yes.
Robbery with the hostages. When she comes up and she's got her bracelet and she hits the bullet.
Mm-hmm.
Best slow motion shot ever.
True.
The only one that needed to be in any of the episodes.
However, if I can take a bathroom break when you go to kick somebody
And come back and they still haven't kicked them?
and I come back in time to see it impact, it's probably too much.
Yeah, and she takes a long time to beat. I'm glad that they got rid of that. I kind of like the fact that they introduced her invisible jet because that's actually a throwback to the old Justice League cartoons. When I say the old ones, I don't mean the ones from the 90s. I'm talking about Super Friends, or back when I was a kid, because that's how she flew. It was kind of cool to see that, and I liked it. Kind of a throwback to the older comics before they were just like, we're going to get rid of that, and Superwoman and Wonder Woman can fly. The storyline, while it was clunky with the Wishstone, it was still better than a lot of the other DC movies. It really was a better DC movie. It's up there in the top 5, which is not hard, because I think I only really liked 3 of them. So it's number 3 on the list of the 3 that I liked.
Mm-hmm.
But it still has its issues, and Warner Brothers and DC still have major issues with their live action movies. I literally just spent a half hour or more bitching about everything that was wrong with this movie, so I'm not going to recap. Cheetah was horrible. Script, directing, costume, yes. Makeup was just really bad. They really need to realign what they're doing in order for it to be better. Would I watch it again? I'm probably going to watch it again before it actually goes off of HBO Max, just so I can watch it again. I'll probably watch it again with the people in the house that have not watched it. But as far as going out of my way to watch it, so this is not a movie that I would rent on Amazon Prime to watch. We watched it because it was free and it was new. The only reason I will purchase it is to, continue with my collection, and that's about it. As far as recommending it, if you're a superhero fan, if you're a fan of the DC movies, if you've seen any of the movies with Wonder Woman in it, I would recommend it. Simply because it continues the story and it gives Diana a little more backstory. And there are some pretty cool parts in it. If you're an avid moviegoer or a movie watcher like me, it's interesting to watch because of the good parts and because you can pick it apart. If you're somebody like me that likes to pick apart movies. If you're just a novice when it comes to watching movies, if you're just a person that just wants to watch a movie, I'm not going to recommend this to you because you'll be sorely disappointed. It'll be 2.5 hours of your life that you will never get back. Other than that, it's definitely one of the better DC movies, but I still can't call it, definitely can't call it great. It's right on the borderline of mediocre and good for me. It's just not, DC's struggling. DC is definitely struggling in their live action films, and they need to find a formula that works for all of their movies, not just one.
I agree.
Cool shit.
All right. We are coming down to the last couple minutes of the show. Please remember, support your veterans, fire, police, and EMS. They're out there every day putting their lives on the line for you. There's a lot of shit going on in the country right now. The National Guard, Army Reserve, Army, all branches of the military right now are literally doing what they're told to do and what they signed up to do, and that's to protect America and the American people. And yes, there have been some military personnel that participated in the Capitol Hill, I don't know if you call that riots or whatever it was. Don't judge all military personnel. Don't judge all police.
They're just doing their job.
Yeah.
Literally.
Don't judge.
They don't really have a choice.
All by a few. And that goes with anybody. Don't judge all by few. By the actions of few. So continue to support the veterans, fire, police, and EMS out there. Genuine respect for them. As always, be safe, be smart. We want you back here every night that we broadcast on Wiki Curiosity Media. Every Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday night. 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific, right here on blogtalkradio.com/Wiki Curiosity. And hopefully continuing live on the respective pages of the shows. There will not be a show Tuesday for Falling from Grace podcast. They will...
Should be returning next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday? Okay.
Hopefully by then we'll have lots of exciting things to talk about because of the nature of the universe.
Heck yeah.
No? Okay. Country. I meant country.
I mean, we can talk about the nature of the universe. We can talk about string theory. We can talk about loop quantum gravity.
No, we're just going to go with country.
I mean, I could.
We'll talk about the chaotic shit that's going on.
That sounds good. We have a tentative show lined up for Wednesday for Cinephiles.
See how that goes.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. We are always welcome and open to suggestions. If there's a topic you want us to talk about, or you want to hear about, or if you want to talk about, feel free to send us a message on the page, or if you know us personally, feel free to just talk to us. I think Note by Note has a show on Friday. I don't know.
We'll have to wait to see what's happening with that. We'll talk to the guy in glasses, though, and he'll post up on his page.
Yeah.
That is Note by Note radio show.
Yeah. All right. I do want to say thank you. Give a big thank you to Austin for setting up the live stream for us on Blog Talk, not Blog Talk, wow, Behind the Screen Radio Show's Facebook page. You can go back and listen to that at any time. It's always up there, always available. Thank all of our supporters, all of our listeners, all of our followers. We truly, greatly appreciate it. We don't get paid to do this. We love doing it, and we love all the support that we get. From all of us here at Wiki Curiosity Media and Behind the Screen Radio Show, I want to say thank you. We love you, and we hope you have a fantastic rest of the week, and hopefully we'll see you on Wednesday.
Hope everybody has a great night. Thanks for listening. Can't wait to do this more.
Heck yeah. We'll see you guys soon.
All right. We are going to leave off with Less Love. Y'all have a good night.
Strip it down, it's just you and me. You cut me off and say you're tired of talking. It's not as if we can't agree, but you've lost your will to fight. You're packing up all your things to leave, and these will be our last words. Then the chance will be lost, and I ain't too proud. If you loved me, you would hold me and never let me go. If you love me, you would tell me you never want me to be alone. If you cared at all, you would stop and never go. But you just turned your back to me and said, I guess I don't. Now it's 7 years and 1,000 days away from the day we first met. Time has moved on for you, and I can feel life has moved. But it's stuck on the day you left, and what was said. I guess I don't. If you love me,